allowed Mississippi State to have 9 points, and then they won the points in the paint. Mississippi State did 14-12. It's the reason why they have a lead now.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights. And one of the keys for Mississippi State, they tried to put the zone on Auburn, and the Tigers sliced it up early.
Well, they did a good job of getting it into that sweet spot around that SEC emblem, and as a result, they were able to manufacture points early. But Mississippi State has done what they've done all year, which is turn good defense into good offense. Very sporadic, active on the defensive end, like a swarm of bees, and that has led to some transition points and points off of turnovers for the Bulldogs.
For Auburn, Allen Payne off to a good start, 8 points and 6 rebounds. Harlan Henson, combined for just 11 points. We're talking about 2 of the leading scorers in the SEC. 9 turnovers for the Tigers in the first half. For Mississippi State, Colin Borchard, 3 big 3-point field goals. He leads all scorers with 11 points.
There's no doubt that a 3-point shot is the difference in this basketball game, along with the turnovers and points in the paint. Mississippi State, 5 of 11, which equivalates 15 points. And Auburn, on the other hand, 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. And so Mississippi State did a good job in that first half of creating offense off of defense and knocking it down from behind the 3-point line.
So Sword and Ware combined for 2 points, yet Mississippi State has got a 9-point lead as we begin the second half.
This is so difficult for a young player. For Gavin Ware, especially for big guys, the frustration just has to be overwhelming right now. You can see the look of exasperation on his face. He hasn't played a lot of minutes in this basketball game.
Just
only 4 minutes, and hasn't had a chance to get going.
So Ware goes back to the bench, and that expression says it all. 3 fouls and only 4 minutes on the floor. Despite that, the Bulldogs have the basketball in a 9-point lead. They're in the midst of a 28-10 run. Auburn had just 1 made field goal in the final 8 minutes of the first half. Thomas gives it up. Sword for 3, air ball.
Right now you see a 9-point lead, which seems like a lot. But this first 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, so crucial for both teams. Not a lot of energy right now. So if Auburn can get going defensively, get some activity inside, they're right back in this basketball game. And Sean Dixon-Tatum knocks one down, and vice versa. If you're Mississippi State, if you can push and make a run, you can try to close the door for the Tigers.
Bloodman brings the ball into the front court, getting the majority of the work at the point tonight. I.J. Reddy unable to play after that concussion he suffered against Alabama. We saw him out on the floor today, and this was actually some of his first time out on the practice floor today, so he'll be coming back, but we don't know when. Borchard, the look-away pass inside. Shot won't go, but 2 free throws coming up for Quez Johnson.
Well, Quez Johnson is the one who will get the free throws, but give credit to Borchard for doing a good job of looking away and making a sensational pass inside. You always love it when you have big guys who can not only set screens, rebound, and defend, but also have the high basketball IQ and ability to pass as well.
Well, Mississippi State was just 3 of 9 from the line in the first half. Johnson knocks in the first free throw. He's got 9 points tonight. He's had a good game. Knocks in a pair. And the lead again is 9. Shamsuddin brings it into the front court. Dixon-Tatum gives it up to Harrell, who fires for 3, and he's got it. And that cuts the lead to 6.
Well, you've got to think, Dave, that both Chris Denson and KT Harrell have a lot left in the tank and will get going. And it's almost like KT Harrell was affected by the absence of his partner in the first half, because they really work well off of one another on the offensive end. One penetrating and one does a good job of staying out behind the perimeter and knocking down shots.
Sword, look-away pass inside. Johnson wasn't ready. Borchard fires, air ball. Shamsuddin recognizes the defense. He's got a good handle, left-handed player. The drop down. Dixon Tatum wants to do some business in the paint. Tough luck shot wouldn't go. How about Harrell with an offensive board? Another offensive rebound and another miss. 3 point-blank looks for Auburn, and they can't get it to go down. 3-on-2 coming back the other way. Up and in by Fred Thomas. Denson. Shamsuddin for 3. Had it halfway down and wouldn't stay in.
Right now, if you're Auburn, Coach Tony Barbee talked about the importance of getting back in defensive transition. You look at a 4-point swing here. Auburn has 1, 2, 3 chances at the rim, and then they don't get back defensively and allow Craig Sword to get out on the fast break, and Thomas takes advantage. If you're Auburn, you have to make those plays at point-blank range, and then you also have to get back defensively.
The foul was on Thomas. That's his second. Denson for 3. Online, but too strong. Bloodman the rebound, and he'll bring it into the front court. Here's a chance for Mississippi State to take their largest lead of the game. Davis gave the Bulldogs a spark in the first half. Here he throws it right through the arms of Johnson. And another turnover.
You have to wonder, Coach Tony Barbee was under the weather at the shoot-around this morning. Pretty tough character, was obviously known for his toughness when he played and as a coach. You have to wonder if that affects his team a little bit here on the road.
Harrell picks up the dribble. Payne won't go down. Attaway is going to be called on the foul. Damian, Mississippi State's done a really nice job taking care of the basketball tonight. They've played 24 minutes in this game, and they've only got 4 turnovers.
Well, anytime you take care of the basketball and you disallow your team to have empty possessions, you give yourself a much better chance to win the game. So many teams across the country use their defense to create good offense, and they've taken that away for Auburn, who has 2 guards who do extremely well in transition.
Three on the way, short side rim, no good. Thomas missed it. Here's Denson. This is what he does in the open floor. And Borcher hangs right in there and got the block shot. And that was Alex Thompson, who went hard for that loose ball and into the crowd.
Well, you asked me who needs this game more. You can tell both teams extremely desperate. And at this time of the year, you think about March Madness. Well, that's some March Madness type activity that you see from Auburn, still scratching and clawing in a good basketball game. .5 minutes to go here in Starkville. Mississippi State with an 8-point lead.
Auburn coach Tony Barbee is going into the UMass Hall of Fame on Sunday. And this morning at the shoot-around, even though he wasn't feeling very good, he did crack a smile when we brought that topic up.
Well, you know, he was a guy who went to postseason 18 of 22 years as an assistant coach and player, and now has not had the opportunity to get there at Auburn, but did a sensational job at UTEP. We mentioned his job when he was Coach of the Year at Conference USA, and right now he's in a situation where he's trying to build a program, has had some guys leave, nearly 500 transfers in college basketball this year. Whenever you have a program that has struggled, it's never easy, but the fight is still there, and you can see that from the competitive games with his teams thus far this season, and they are not out of this game here tonight either.
Now, Tony worked for John Calipari and Bruiser Flint. He had a couple of stretches as an assistant there at UMass, and we were talking about one game today at the shoot-around. He was a grad student for Calipari in '96 when UMass was #1 in the country, and they went to the Final Four with Marcus Camby and Lou Rowe and those guys. And we were talking about the game. UMass was involved in maybe one of the greatest comebacks ever. They trailed by 18 with less than 5 minutes to play at West Virginia, got that game into overtime, and won it when UMass was ranked #1 in the country. 10-point lead for Mississippi State. That is their largest lead of the game. Lob and the finish. Denson with the alley. Dixon Tatum the oop.
And Auburn now going to a little different type of pressure. And this pressure is to try to get Mississippi State to turn it over and to speed them up. Coach Tony Barbee obviously feeling like he's got to create some energy with his ball team.
Bloodman, that's probably the worst pass he's thrown tonight. Here's a look at the alley-oop.
Well, nice job of setting the back screen by KT Harrell against Colin Borkert. And a bad job of Mississippi State that time communicating, but Mississippi State has not done a lot of wrong here today. Have done well taking care of the basketball up until that last possession, and defensively they have been sound.
Payne working on Johnson, forced his way to the rim and got it to go off the glass. You mentioned that different pressure that Auburn was showing a minute ago. You might want to be careful about trying to up-tempo Mississippi State. They prefer to run. And here they get the turnover. It's a 4-on-2. Payne, back rim, no good. Can't convert on a 4-on-2. And now Mississippi State wants to run. Dixon Tatum the block. And a foul is called as Denson goes hard to the hole.
Well, right now, Chris Denson goes hard to the basket, and Fred Thomas definitely got him on his left arm on the elbow.
Denson, that's what he likes to do, that quick first step, and he can't finish. It's been that kind of night for the SEC's leading scorer. Long pass ahead for Borchard. Can't finish it. And Mississippi State, they like to run. Saturday here in Starkville when they beat Texas A&M in overtime. Fast break points, they outscored the Aggies 16-0 in that category.
Yeah, handed Texas A&M their first loss in conference play. Of course, Texas A&M then went to play a Kentucky Wildcat team who has the Harrison twins really stepping up, and they're starting to become a unit and more cohesive together.
Shamsuddin with the layup, and it's up and in. And just like that, here comes Auburn, down only 4. Sword forces the issue, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Well, the chess move that Coach Tony Barbee has made right now, realizing that this is a young team for Mississippi State, is that he's felt like they're too comfortable. In the first half, even though Auburn was playing more of a 2-2-1 zone back to a 2-3, there wasn't a lot of pressure being displayed. And now, as you look at Craig Sword, 13 points under his average, or 12 now that he made this free throw. Coach Tony Barbee is now making a conscious effort to speed the Mississippi State Bulldogs up.
All right, so Ware comes back into the game. It's been a nightmarish night for him, even though Mississippi State has now got the lead. Ware's been saddled with foul trouble, has played just 4 minutes in this game. Sword makes 2 free throws. So Sword and Ware, the 1-2 punch you would expect almost every night from Mississippi State, they have combined for only 4 points, yet they've got a 6-point lead here as we close in on the 13-minute mark of the second half. Thompson for three, offline, barely caught the iron, and we'll head back the other way.
Well, if you're wondering why Thompson shot that basketball, he actually knocked down a couple of threes, scoring 8 points in a career-high 22 minutes versus Missouri. So he is capable of knocking down that shot. Just came up short on that play.
And that pass is tipped. And the possession will stay with Mississippi State.
If you're Mississippi State right now, you want to continue to do the things that have gotten you this 6-point lead right now, which is defensively maintain your activity, try to create havoc, and then on the offensive end, be patient, play the game from inside out, and also knock down a couple of those threes that they've hit today.
That helps too. Davis from 25.
Kobe Davis out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Shoots 29% from the three-point line, but knocks that one down. And even though he only plays 9 minutes per game, is taking advantage of his opportunity here today.
Backdoor cut, Harrell the finish, and a chance at a three-point play. What a great feed. And Harrell was able to use the rim as a shield, finish it, and draw the foul.
Well, KT Harrell shows you the backdoor cut, moving without the basketball. Nice vision that time by Thompson. And Craig Sword that time showing you a little youth. Turns his head off of his man and has it too focused on the basketball. As a result, KT Harrell now completes a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Harrell 84% at the line made that look easy. 6-point lead. Canada, 21 in blue, has come back on for Auburn. Ball thrown away in traffic. Will stay at this end.
Well, right now, Mississippi State has done an extremely good job defensively, but you live by the three and you die by the three, and right now, Bulldogs are living.
Chris Denson, the SEC's leading scorer, has been held to 7 points thus far, and Mississippi State has got a 6-point lead on the visiting Tigers from Auburn. And for the Bulldogs, they've been raining the threes here at home in Starkville.
Unexpected, only shooting 25% in conference play, 29% in all games. But Ludman strokes it there from the outside. You see Thomas shooting it as well. And so you're seeing multiple players. Borkett knocking down a three-pointer as well. The movement of the basketball and the ability to go inside and then come back out has led to good shot opportunities. And Coach Rick Ray talked to us at the shoot-around, and what did he say? We said, you know, do you think that's going to change? And his response was, no, I don't think it's going to change, but it's changed tonight. As you see the season, 29%, but 40% tonight from behind the three-point line.
Bulldogs have the basketball under their own bucket.
Nice
Lob inside to Johnson. And he'll go to the line for two.
Intriguing enough, this is something that is always open against the 2-3 zone. As the wing steps out, Wade for Auburn, you can always look up to the corner of that backboard and try to find your big man down underneath. A nice job of really having good vision by Mississippi State.
Wade picks up his second foul and will now come out of the game. Canada comes back in. Denson returns as well. With Johnson, he's been living at the free throw line. Mississippi State has shot 16 free throw attempts tonight. He's had 10 of them. 7 of 10 at the stripe. Knocks in a pair. He's got 14 points to lead all scorers. And Mississippi State pushes the lead back out to 8. Payne takes it right to Johnson. Hit with the follow and the flush by Dixon Tatum.
Nice job of Rashawn Dixon Tatum using that length and getting to the basket. He's a guy who does extremely good and really tip dunking and keeping plays alive on the offensive rebound end for Auburn.
Tigers still hanging around, down just 6. You've joined us late. A reminder, Auburn has lost 14 consecutive conference games in the SEC. Up and in. So Ware, that's his first bucket of the game. Lead is 8. Harrell. And that's a turnover over and back. And for Auburn, that's their 11th turnover of the night.
You have to wonder, Dave, so much strain on the 2 guards for Auburn. KT Harrell, Chris Denson. We talked about them being 7th in the nation in scoring. You wonder if they start to get worn out, putting up those type of numbers, running off screens, having to produce those points night in and night out.
I think you're right. And what about the strain of this losing streak in the conference?
Well, there's no doubt about it. The hard work has to pay off eventually. But if you're Auburn, you need a win to secure, the hard work that you've been continuing to do and all the time that you put in practice. After so long, that competitiveness gets old for the players, and I'm sure they're desperate for a victory tonight.
Where? Now he's got 2 buckets. And he took a shot in the neck. Auburn needs a timeout. 10:20 to go, second half. Mississippi State matches their largest lead of the game. They lead visiting Auburn by 10.
Each home SEC basketball game this season, the Citizens Bank would like to salute a Bulldog athlete that performs not only on the field, but in the classroom. Tonight, Citizens Bank spotlights Bulldog football player Richie Brown, a redshirt freshman linebacker from Long Beach. Brown completed the 2013 season with 38 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 interception. Off the field, Brown's involved with Mississippi State's Fellowship of Christian Athletes and is a valued member of the Struggle community. That was your Citizens Bank Student Athlete Spotlight. Please direct your attention to the video board. Today's Energy Great Moments takes us back to January 12, 2000 at Taxman Coliseum in Oxford. Mississippi State's T.J. Billups and Antonio Jackson each had 12 points. Tate Hamilton added 10 points and 7 boards to lead Mississippi State to a 61-59 victory over Ole Miss. That was today's Energy Great Moment. Fans, get ready to show your love to the thing that shows the craziest face on the video board. It's a $25 gift card from One Shots Bar and Grill, right here at Starkville.
Mississippi State led by 9 at the half. They're up by 10 now. Gavin Ware has been saddled with foul trouble, but now that he's back in the game, let's go inside the play to show you how he's taking care of business.
Well, anytime you're a big man, you want a chance to establish their position, so let's let it go. Look at number 20 in white for Mississippi State going against 00 in blue for Auburn. Freeze it right there. Now here's where he establishes his position. You're going to see the basket at the end, but this is where the work is done. Let's let it play. Gavin Ware does work, a nice seal on the baseline. All he has to do is go right up at point-blank range, and that's where he won the war by establishing the position inside against Sean Dixon Tatum. You only see the result. 4 points tonight, but did a good job on that play of sealing and dealing in the area.
You could see just 7 minutes on the floor tonight. Played only 4 minutes of the first half. Then 1 minute into the second half, picked up his third personal foul. Despite that, Mississippi State has a double-digit lead and the basketball. 10 minutes to play, second half. Been a tough night for Chris Denson. Offensive rebound by Payne and a fresh 35. Auburn has struggled from outside the arc, just 2 of 11. But how about that? KT Harrell, the transfer from Virginia, knocks in a 3. And it's a 7-point game. Well, this pressure is bothering the Bulldogs. Nearly another turn. Well, it is a timeout. And Rick Ray sensed it.
Let's remember KT Harrell for Auburn had 29 points against Boston College, scored well over 20 at Iowa State as well. So he's a guy who can get hot and put up numbers very quickly. With 9:34 left to go in this basketball game, this game is still wide open, and I guarantee you that's why Coach Rick Ray called the timeout, to settle his young team down and to make sure that they're more cognizant about taking care of the basketball on the offensive end.
One of the things about Auburn in this losing streak, these guys, Harrell and Denson, have been scoring the basketball.
Well, they're very difficult to stop because they can score in multiple ways. You've seen KT Harrell. We know he can shoot, but he also can score off of the bounce. And give credit to Coach Tony Barbie. He realizes where his bread is buttered and continues to make sure that he runs plays to get those guys open.
Backdoor feed, thrown away. Pass was intended for Sword. You know, Auburn has lost 14 straight conference games. They're 0-4 in the SEC this year, but you take a look at these losses. Florida, Missouri, Ole Miss, all of those games are one-possession games late. They lost to Tennessee. That was a 5-point game with 2.5 minutes to go. Auburn is getting closer. Harrell steps in. That shot was partially blocked by Thomas. And Damian, I think you had position there because he went right into the table.
Well, that was extremely good hustle, and you look at it this time of the year and you think about March Madness being right around the corner. You love to see guys getting excited, playing with passion, and going after the basketball.
I thought we handled that pretty well. Turnover. Harrell, 3-on-2, count it, and a chance at a 3-point play.
Well, this is an Auburn team, as you mentioned, partner. They have been in every basketball game, and we do not expect them to quit. And KT Harrell kind of giving the Bulldogs some of their own medicine, which is trying to get out and score some transition points himself.
So Harrell will go to the free throw line, and he completes it. So plenty of time, still just under 9 minutes to go in this game. It's a 4-point game, 51-47. Borchard got into the half court, picked up his dribble, and he was immediately double teamed. Now
what you see is Mississippi State having to run their offense with less than 20 seconds left to go. But because they took care of the basketball and did not turn it over, they did not have an empty possession, which is what Auburn is trying to force the Bulldogs into at this point.